and welcome to What's On, the Midlands entertainment page. I'm Chanel Shay Calvin, and in the second part of today's show, we'll be continuing Jess Fitzpatrick's look at the local club scene. But first, there is always something happening right in the Midlands, and we'll be providing that information throughout the show. You can see all the gigs and comedy shows this week at the bottom of your screen, and on the right are the events, theatre productions, concerts and days out. If you have an event that you want us to advertise, then we'd like to hear from you, and our contact details can be seen at the bottom of the screen. My first guest is Lisa Beauchamp from Birmingham Museum and Art Galleries, and earlier today I asked her to tell us about the wonderful and exciting exhibition Love Is Enough, featuring the art of Andy Warhol and William Morris. So I'm now joined by Lisa Beauchamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. You've got to be really excited about this exhibition because I think it sounds amazing. So the exhibition is called, Love Is Enough? And it showcases the work of William Morris and Andy Warhol.
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about those artists, please.
Yeah, so the concept behind Love Is Enough, it brings together two artists that haven't been looked at in this way before. So William Morris was a 19th century artist, born in Walthamstow in London. He's best known really for his kind of textile designs, and he founded and ran a company called Morris & Co. So very much a kind of producer, kind of producing kind of designs that he would then sell. But his output was amazing, really. I mean, he wasn't just a kind of designer, he was a writer, he was a socialist, he kind of founded publications, he created amazing kind of textile designs, which then would be, you know, they could be produced as fabrics for kind of sofas, upholstery, curtains. He was really prolific in the amount of work that he produced, and, you know, he was a fascinating, you know, man himself in the way that, you know, he really kind of was trying to revive traditional craft techniques. So, for example, one of the kind of main, kind of most exciting parts of the exhibition for us in Birmingham, from our collection points of view, the Holy Grail tapestries, which he designed with kind of co-collaborators, Edward Burne-Jones, who was a Birmingham artist, and John Henry Durrell. So for us, I mean, the Holy Grail tapestries are kind of regarded as one of the key, you know, most significant outputs of the whole arts and crafts movement, of which Birmingham is very, you know, well known for. So, I mean, we've got amazing William Morris collections, of which, you know, are showcased in this exhibition. So he died in 1896, and then Andy Warhol, of course, is 100 years later. So he was born in Pittsburgh, New York. You know, very different upbringing to William Morris. You know, William Morris was quite kind of came from a middle-class family. There's stories of him, you know, in his grounds at Kelmscott House, kind of riding his pony, dressed in a suit of armour, you know, whereas Andy Warhol very much came from a working-class family. His mother, Julia, was an artist, and, you know, he learnt his trade from her, really. And so, you know, with Andy Warhol, you know, so many people are familiar with his work. Yeah. You know, he's an iconic figure, really epitomised, you know, 1960s New York with the factory, his kind of mass production, his fascination with Hollywood icons, the silkscreen work. He founded a publication as well. So I think what this exhibition importantly does, it kind of really makes you look at those two figures in a new way. And I think because they're so kind of far apart in terms of, you know, Morris in the 19th century producing work in the UK, Andy Warhol, American based, you know, in the 20th century, late 20th century, you wouldn't normally kind of bring them together.
To be together. So what is the reason behind bringing these two artists together?
So it's a unique idea that was thought up by Sally Shaw, who's head of programmes at Modern Art Oxford. So the exhibition is in partnership with them, and it was first shown there. However, in Birmingham, it's much bigger and there's a lot more work from our collection. So it is quite kind of two different shows, really. So it was her idea, and I remember her saying, I think she said it at the opening last week, that it was one of the ideas that she pitched at her job interview for her role at Oxford, which was quite funny, and she was told at the time it's a terrible idea and it wasn't going to work. But actually, it's fascinating. And she has worked with Jeremy Deller, who Jeremy's a Turner Prize winning artist, and he cites William Morris and Andy Warhol as his two kind of greatest artistic influences. So Sally approached Jeremy to kind of curate the show, and I think he was a bit frustrated that he hadn't thought of the idea himself. But getting him to curate it has been absolutely the right choice, because the influence that those artists have had on his artistic output, and the idea of an artist of being a producer. So they're not kind of, maybe working in one medium, and they're also very aware of kind of commercially how their work kind of fits into kind of the commercial world and trying to get their work out there to the masses. And that's very important to Jeremy. If people know anything about his artistic practice, he's very much kind of working across mediums, trying to, it's very much ideas based, kind of quite conceptual, but it's very much working, he's not a kind of painter or he's not a sculptor. It's very much the idea of being a producer.
I think that's really great, because I think not many people might look into art or think, because these artists have done so many years ago. Have you made it quite current and quite contemporary for people as well?
Yeah, I think I should say it's a visually stunning show. So to give you a kind of idea of what it looks like, the gas hall is in 1,000 square metre space, so it's a really huge space.
Oh,
and actually,
really big.
It's huge, yeah. And the architecture of that room is very 19th century, because that's when the museum was founded. So when you're entering that space, you get a kind of 19th century feel. However, you get these amazing kind of juxtapositions. So we've been sponsored by Sanderson's, who produce kind of reproduction Morris & Co. wallpaper. So we've got William Morris wallpaper, which covers a lot of the walls in the exhibition.
Oh, nice.
So you've got these really beautiful designs, so these kind of backdrops that are kind of very kind of delicate, kind of intricate, kind of floral patterns. And on top of those, you have kind of, Morris work, and then, you've got these amazing juxtapositions of the wall holes. So if you imagine, Marilyn Monroe, we've got this amazing Marilyn Monroe tapestry that Warhol produced, and it's the first time it's been shown at the UK. If you imagine that iconic Marilyn Monroe image on top of, kind of dark green, really beautiful kind of intricate wallpaper, it's just stunning.
It does sound amazing.
And then in that same setting, you've got the Holy Grail tapestries, which, when they were produced in the late 1800s, in the context, they were being produced for kind of people that were paying a lot of money. They were around £4,000 to kind of, to commission them at the time. So a huge amount of money at the time. But also how they would have been shown in these historic houses may have been with kind of William Morris, either wallpaper or kind of upholstered furniture around kind of in the same setting. So it's almost, in the gas hall, it just feels really perfect.
Am I right in saying there's actually 4 themes?
So there's 4 themes that kind of take you through. They're kind of 4 areas of connectivity. So there's 4 areas that really kind of elucidate the kind of key connections between Andy Warhol and William Morris. So the first area is called Camelot. And it's a really good inroad into the exhibition, because it compares both of their childhoods, with William Morris, very influenced by medieval culture, fantasy, that kind of mythology and romance that was very tied up into those kind of heroic kind of stories, and the story of the Holy Grail with the knights and the queens. And then you've got Andy Warhol, who was, he was quite sickly as a child, and he spent, 2 years kind of bedridden. And he would write to these Hollywood stars and get their autographs, and they would kind of send back their photographs of them kind of signed.
Oh,
and he would collect these in a scrapbook. And so one actress he was really obsessed with was Shirley Temple.
Oh, okay. Is there what's the other 3 quickly before? Because we could talk about this for so long.
Yeah, we could. I know.
Sorry.
I'll be here forever talking about them. So that's a really nice connection with the Camelot section. And then it takes you through to Hopes and Fears for Art, which looks at the politics of both of the artists. Andy Warhol was thought to be quite distant from politics, but actually in the 1960s, some of the work he was producing, like his silk screens of Chairman Mao, the American race riots, electric chair, very much influenced by what was going on around him. And in 1882, William Morris converted to socialism, so he was very kind of out there with his political viewpoints. The next section is called A Factory as It Might Be, and that section really kind of communicates the key kind of, connection between these two artists. The idea of mass production, getting their work out there to a massive audience, both working in factories, both kind of mass producing their work, very integral to, understanding their output as almost kind of producers as a company as well. So that's a really important section. And then the last section is called Flower Power, which is kind of crazy, psychedelic, and you kind of need your sunglasses to go in because it's very bright. And that looks at the motif of flowers in both of their work.
Oh, that sounds actually amazing. There's obviously so much for people to look forward to. So thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
After the break, Jess Fitz will be giving us her hot tips on where to go clubbing. Welcome back. Coming up is Jess's Club Scene Part 2. Before that, here's a few ideas we put together for things to do and see over the week to come. Here's Lee.
Thanks, Chanel. Well, Dirty Dancing is still on at the Birmingham Hippodrome until Saturday the 30th of May. It's already been seen by millions across the globe and you'll have the time of your life. Elsewhere, Dance Exchange, the powerhouse of dance, is at the Birmingham Hippodrome from now until the 16th of May. It's part of a season of stunning performances from leading dance companies. Next, Bad Girls is on at the Old Rep from the 12th to the 16th of May. It's based on the TV series, which is set in the fictional Larkhall prison, and it's the story of the idealistic governor, Helen, and her battles with the entrenched old guard. It also follows the love story that develops between Helen and charismatic inmate Nikki. Over in Cannock, the Cannock Chase Orpheus Male Choir are performing at the St Luke's Parish Church on Saturday the 16th, and direct from the West End and their UK tour, West Bromwich Operatic Society are extremely proud to present Ghost the Musical, and that's at the Grand Theatre in Wolverhampton from the 14th to the 16th of May. The award-winning Trinity Players present an amateur premiere production of Hairspray, and that's at the Sutton Coldfield Town Hall from the 12th to the 16th of May. Oh, and if you like Take That, then don't forget that they're at the Genting Arena from the 11th to the 14th of May. And finally, the Climax Blues Band are at the Gatehouse Theatre in Stafford, and that's as part of the Stafford Music Festival on the Thursday the 14th of May, featuring Roy Adams on drums. So wherever you end up, have a good time.
Oh, hi again, Jess.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for coming back again.
It's all right.
It's really cool finding out what events are taking place in Birmingham and obviously the local area last time.
Yeah.
And obviously it was bank holiday then. We've got another one coming up, which is
it took me a while to recover from that one. We've got one round the corner. So yeah, not too far away now. Before that, there's a few events that I definitely recommend going to. Which happened this Saturday the 16th. So the first one is the after party, the official after party for the Body Expo that's going on at the NEC.
Oh.
Yeah, so that after party is going on at Gatecrasher. You've got a few of the lads from X on the Beach that are hosting it, like so Rogan O'Connor will be there. Ashley Kane's going to be DJing, Josh, all those sort of guys. So if you like hunks and good-looking girls, then I definitely recommend going there. There's another party on at RSVP, which is that new club I told you about. They've got the Rich List group throwing a party there this Saturday. So they do events all over the world, Dubai, Vegas, London, Marbella.
It's major there.
Yeah, so they're throwing something pretty special over at RSVP. That's going to be really fancy and really good event to go to this weekend. And then before, it's coming round, we've got bank holiday.
Again, which is amazing.
Huge for Birmingham, always is. You've got Pride weekend, so there's loads going around that sort of area of town. Saturday and Sunday, the lineup for Pride is ridiculous, as you've probably seen all over the place. They've got Example, they've got Jess Glynn, Miss Dynamite, the Marvin Humes, loads, Neon Jungle.
It's massive.
Bit for everyone. The after parties are going to be pretty special as well. So It Goes is a good after party that I'd recommend. Also Soup have got something really cool going on. They've got a really good lineup there. Toy Boy and Robin, they're playing. They've also got Jack and Rabbit, bit of local talent, they're playing there as well, and Art for Dodger. So in terms of after parties for those events, those are two good ones that I'd really recommend going to. Also, before that, on Friday, the 22nd, James Arthur's playing in town. So if you like X Factor, I don't personally, but yeah, he's in town, so I'm sure that would be really good. That's on at the Institute. Going back to Bank Holiday weekend, we've also got the Colour Festival at the Rainbow. I think I told you about this one. So, you have to go all dressed in white. There's going to be powdered paint everywhere, so you'll come out there looking multicoloured. Yeah,
your hair and all
over the place. But it's really good. I haven't been myself. It's something that I've always wanted to go to. Friends have been and said how great it was. So that's going on. Tickets are still available. They're £20. We'll probably get them from the ticket sellers, and they've got Tough Love playing there. Sunday the 24th, you mentioned that you like a bit of R&B.
I love my R&B.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Well, Westwood's playing at the Electric. Ladies are free entry. It's on till 4 in the morning, starts at 10. So that would be really good on the Sunday. I'd recommend going there. What else is going on? Well, there's actually a lot of weekly events that are starting in Birmingham at the minute, not just from new nights and clubs, but also from hotels. Sounds a bit random. Penta Hotel, for example, they're doing the pre-parties for soup every week. So highly recommend going there. Really nice hotel, cool bar, open 24 hours, late check-in as well out, so that's really cool. Same with Hotel Latour. They're doing an acoustic nights on Fridays and then live music on Saturdays. So you wouldn't necessarily know to go to hotels for a night out.
It's quite a nice different sort of atmosphere, I guess.
Yeah,
which is nice.
but too, the bars are really, really nice. So definitely, if you want something different, I'd recommend those as well. As for other weekly events that are going on in Birmingham, there's a new night at Lavano in Arcadian that started on a Sunday. Strictly house and garage music. So if you like your Sunday fun days, get there. Really cheap drinks. Highly recommend that one. In Arcadian area as well, So Bar has started a new Tuesdays called Industry Tuesdays. Again, really cheap drinks. So it'll be the sort of like industry people that are going, so fun-loving people that are sort of out all the time anyway. So that would be really, really good. I forgot to mention Meet You at the end of the month, again for Bank Holiday. They've got Colin Francis in town, so if you want to dress up in your nice little outfit and go and have some nice cocktails and go somewhere nice, get to Meet You. He's on at the end of the month, and that'll be really good. And also Saturday nights at the Rainbow, if you like a bit of a rave. Mr Jangles, it's fairly new, but it's really picking momentum up. They do a weekly Saturday party, and that's really good. And also, if you like kind of rainbow vibes, I know you haven't been. I'm going to take you to Face. Face have got something on at the end of the month. That's not actually at the Rainbow, it used to be, but they're doing an event on it next door, which isn't too far from the Rainbow. That's on Bank Holiday weekend as well. So it's from 9 till I think it's 4 or 5 in the morning, if you can handle that.
Oh my gosh.
But that's going to be really good too. So yeah, I definitely recommend those. I'm trying to think. There's another Saturday starting as well that at RSVP, the new bar, the Art. So if you like dressing up rather than raving, that's a good one to go to too.
You know what I love about like the Birmingham clubbing scene? Like, as you just said, you can obviously go there and be covered in paint, or you can literally just dress up like really elegantly.
Yeah, get in a cocktail dress, covered in paint, go and rave till 6 in the morning.
There's literally something for
all
everyone.
All like me, just go to the lights. It's whatever you want to do. There's a bit for everyone. So there's loads going on in the next few weeks.
I think Pride will be massive as well.
Pride's going to be
really
huge.
Good.
I can't wait.
Because I've been to like other cities when they've got Pride and it's like nowhere near Birmingham. Like,
Birmingham's the best.
It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. That whole weekend is going to, the next week it's going to take a long time for me to recover.
Oh gosh. Like the weekday events, is that mainly aimed at students? Or
No,
is it literally for everyone?
There's new stuff coming up as well. There's new Tuesdays nights like the industry one. Thursday nights as well in the Arcadian too. So there's loads going on. It's not just weekends. You can have fun in Birmingham any day of the week.
That's great.
Yeah.
There's always something for everyone, as I've said as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there one that's sort of sticking out for you personally?
Oh, there's too many.
There is so many to choose from.
It depends what weekend. Like I said, the weekend coming up, I'd say Rich List Party is going to be brilliant. That's where I'm going to be. Gatecrasher Party, the Body Expo Party, that's going to be good as well. And then Pride Weekend, I'm just going to be everywhere.
You are?
I'm literally going to be at many places I can be. So try and show my face everywhere.
Well, thank you. Hopefully I'll be joining you in at least
definitely
Pride anyway.
Somewhere, I'm going to try and get to all of them.
Well, thank you.
It's all right.
Well, thanks for that, Jess. There's some amazing nights coming up and I'll be sampling some myself. Don't forget, if you've got an event that you want us to advertise, we'd like to hear from you. And our contact details can be seen at the bottom of the screen. And to play us out, here's a video from City of Colour's upcoming project.
everyone in a session. Singing this Article song, original vibration. From the bonds and the treading on, I'm treading on with the rising sun again. You know the fun has just begun. I'm gonna dance till the day is done. The ball, tell everybody them all to come. Nobody walk, tell them all to run. When we fling down this window, I'm gonna scan till the morning come. 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 Me ball out. Nobody jack it up my operator. All I pull it up, my selector. Fling down vibes like we a generator. Full make a jacket, man a penetrator. They said
It's, you know, it's been crazy painting out there, a lot of people. So yeah, it's been good.
You meet lots of artists, lots of different styles, and you learn a lot, meet nice people, do connections, so yeah, it's always very nice.
It was amazing. It's amazing. It's great to see how one weekend can totally transform an area.